Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we have some XRP news today. We have some Bitcoin news today, Chainlink news, and some SEC news. I told you what was going to happen. I told you. But we're going to start off with some really good news here. This was posted on Ripple.com. And we've been waiting for a long time for some major clarity in one of these major Western powers, and we may be about to get it. MiCA, we were talking about MiCA a lot last year. MiCA legislation, MiCA regulations, whatever they're calling it. It looks like soon they're ready to roll it out. And that's going to bring clarity. Now, those who can get licensed or put on that list for clearance of MiCA, if I'm saying that correctly, they should theoretically be able to run wild in Europe. That could be huge. But let's read this little tidbit here. So the post on Ripple.com is titled "How MiCA and European Digital Asset Regulation Are Paving the Way for Institutional Adoption." So that's another thing. It will bring a lot of big money from Europe to crypto. And it will literally tell the big institutions who is safe and who is not, or who's considered safe. You know how this goes. Whoever's approved. And then they can put their money in there. They can invest. They can have their assets held. This also involves custodying crypto as well, which is why Ripple is an opportunist, but I respect it. It was why they bought up that company, whatever that company was, where you can custody crypto assets. There's going to be a lot of money also. And listen, I can see everything. If you're talking about liquidity tokens, I don't understand why you wouldn't use liquidity tokens for everything. Back everything with them. Why not? Whether you're Stellar, let's not play games here. Whether you're Stellar or your XRP or any other liquidity token, I don't understand why you wouldn't tap into that liquidity you have just sitting there to back anything else that might have a liquidity slippage or crisis. And it's very easy to have a liquidity crisis, especially if there's bank runs on certain things. And I'll tell you what, tough times are coming up. Not really for crypto. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you wouldn't tap into that. So anyway, if you're holding other assets and at some point there's a bank run on those assets, because it can happen, instead of freezing accounts or shutting it down, you can just back it with the liquidity of those other of your liquidity tokens that you're holding a massive amount of. I think that's just wise. And then it makes up for that amount there, and people can still redeem, their value, which people are going to love, which then in turn is going to affect that native token. Because think about it. If you were to back anything with the liquidity of these native tokens, right, of which there's a lot, you're going to need a lot more of that. People are going to want you to do that more. You're going to need that safety. There's another word I'm trying to think of, but you probably will want to gain more of that and do more of that, right? And it's always there. The opportunity is always there. So now, anyway, and then you can actually indirectly ensure that liquidity is always there by just having good partnerships, making sure that your native token is always in use. So then there's always new liquidity coming in. There's always new value coming in. Make it desirable through utility, right? Make sure that utility is really kicking in. And once again, it's just simply because you hold a good amount of it. There you go. So then it's, in a way, everybody would win if it was played that way. Did I explain that? I don't know if I'm I don't know if I'm being eloquent or not, but if it came out the way I meant it to come out, I think that sounds pretty solid. But I don't know if that's what Ripple is thinking or what Stellar is thinking. I have no idea. I'm just speaking my mind. It says here, this year. Hope I didn't read this part already. I'm a little bit tired, folks. My apologies. It was a long day today, right? But we're finishing strong. This year, the groundbreaking crypto regulatory regime will take effect in the European Union, known as the Markets and Crypto Asset Regulation. Groundbreaking crypto regulatory regime, groundbreaking. That's a good word to use in the title. I'll consider it. It says it will immediately become a game-changing framework for the industry, likely to influence similar crypto asset regulation around the world. I agree with that. And I see the rest of the world starting to follow what the West does again. I think we have an article towards the end of the video about Hong Kong is about to come out with their Bitcoin ETFs. They let the US do it first. Listen, the rest of the world, they like to let the US when the U.S. goes first, because the U.S. lags behind a lot in a lot of things. But they like to let the U.S. go first as an experiment to see how it goes. And if anything goes wrong, they can just back away quietly, you know. But everything went great with this Bitcoin ETF. So now what you're going to have is you're going to have a lot of different countries rushing to issue their Bitcoin ETFs so they don't miss out. You know, they don't want to buy too high. Like, come on now. And that tells you a lot about where Bitcoin's price is now. Like if they're coming in now, that means Bitcoin's price theoretically should be nowhere near where it will be in the future. No, they're not coming in to buy at these prices right now, only for it to go up just a smidge and then it just collapses on them permanently. No. So they know something the people don't. You know, I think it's more they're getting in now. Now is still a great time, in my humble opinion. This I'm thinking is for institutions. Retail has to make up its own mind, not financial advice. But I think they see what's coming and they're like, let's get in right now. Same thing that who was it that said they sat on the side? It was a really big Western institution. It was a big article, went viral. And they were saying they were sitting on the side and all through, I think we covered it on the channel, and that through all of the different Bitcoin price rises so far, they still held back, but they want to get in now. See, I think that the rest of the world's thinking the same thing. Like, okay, we confirmed this is real, so now we're going to get in. But we'll see. It says crypto providers and issuers of money tokens that become licensed. Okay, so you have to be licensed. So like I said, this will formulate a literal list of whoever's licensed that can play, that the institutions can trust with their money, that they can invest in. This could be huge. Huge. We just have to wait to see how all of these bank coin holders, bank coin and utility coin companies, how they actuate on this when it actually releases, because we don't know. We don't control them, you know. But this is a huge opportunity. It says that become licensed in what is the world's first major jurisdiction to introduce such tailored guidelines will be able to confidently do business in 27 countries with 450 million residents that collectively represent nearly 1/5 of the global economy. Just a little side note here. So 450 million residents in Europe, right? Take that number, 450. And the last number I saw in the U.S., which it has to be so much higher. It has to be much higher. But I think the last numbers I saw in the U.S. was something like, don't quote me on this, but something like, what, 350 million people in the U.S.? Let's say 350. All right, 350 million people in the U.S., which I believe is very, very low. I think there's much more people here than that. Plus 450, you have carry that. So like 800 million people between those two countries, and that's the bulk of the West. Compare that to BRICS nations. I'm just saying, put this into perspective. BRICS nations, which make up, this is what the articles are saying. BRICS nations, which make up like 3.2 billion people. There's change in the air. I'm just saying, watch what's going on with BRICS nation. We'll see if they can pull off what they're saying or not. But if they can pull off what they're saying, they hold weight. They carry weight. And that de-dollarization could be impactful. I'm just saying, I like to look at that because I need to know if I need to protect my capital even more. I'll triple and double up on protection. Trust me on that. All right. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting because that they put that number there. It says, I didn't know how many people were in these countries that were in the European Union. Now we do. It says MiCA creates legal certainty, harmonizes rules across the EU, and provides a substantial opportunity for banks and crypto asset providers, which is called shortened to CASPs, looking to secure a foothold in the region. Okay, so listen, there's a lot more we could break down in this article. We may have to come back to it because I want to get to these next articles here. We're already 9 minutes in. But this, if you haven't checked out this post on Ripple.com, okay, check it out. It's titled How MiCA and European Digital Asset Regulation Are Paving the Way for Institutional Adoption. And it is serious business, folks. Once again, shout out to the members only section because of the members only section, this channel exists. All right. So respect to them. I appreciate every single one of them. Thank you for allowing me to be here and bring these videos to everyone, both the members only videos as well as these videos, these regular videos. All right. So now let's move on here. This article is titled, Here's How the XRPL Automated Market Maker feature Helps Burn XRP. I don't know what's going on lately, but I'm not involved in a lot of the conversations that have been taking place on social media. I'm not really on social media. By not really means I'm not on social media unless you consider YouTube social media. I do watch TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, but I do watch TikTok. But anyway, there must be something going on. This is what I'm getting to, because they've been talking about burning XRP a lot lately. What is going on? It's been all the rage, but anyway, let's begin here. It says, the recently introduced XRPL automated market maker feature has a functionality that helps burn XRP tokens when market participants create new automated market makers. Yeah, we heard that before, but why does there need to be clarity on this? Let's keep going. The XRPL has taken another step toward a deflationary model with the introduction of its automated market maker feature. While this functionality primarily looks to provide liquidity, it also has a built-in mechanism that burns XRP tokens, contributing to its scarcity. How many people are actually using the AMM? That's what I would like to know. It says, in a recent post on X, Panos Mekras, a key figure in the XRP community and co-founder of Anodos Finance, highlighted the deflationary impact of the automated market maker. Then they cropped a tweet. They're very funny with these articles. Sometimes they just write what the person said, and sometimes they crop a little tweet here. Sometimes they do both, right? It says, did you know when a new AMM pool is created on XRPL, 2 XRP is burnt? That's it? 2 XRP? That's it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not thinking about this the right way, but that's nothing to write home about. I don't know. I think about that compared to what Flare is doing, burning Flare, right? And they're like, oh, well, we burnt some hundreds of thousands. Then they're like, we burnt millions. Now that's significant, right? They're burning a lot. It was like 2 XRP. How many pools have been created? It says, instead of the standard minimum transaction cost of 0.00001 XRP, quote, AMM create, unquote, must destroy at least the incremental owner reserve amount. Currently 2 XRP. Oh, okay. See, it says incremental owner reserve amount. Okay. I see where they're going with that. All right, let's scroll down here. He explained that the creation of a new AMM instance on the XRPL leads to the burning of 2 XRP. This burn rate is considerably higher than the standard minimum transaction cost, which is a mere fraction of an XRP. The rationale behind this increased cost is to prevent spam on the ledger. The AMM features introduction is a response to the growing DeFi landscape, where automated market makers have become a cornerstone. Unlike traditional trading systems, AMMs on the XRPL are designed to work in harmony with the existing decentralized exchange, offering users the best of both worlds. What is the rate on it? Because I know it increases every time XRP is used for transactions on XRPL. XRP is burned, right? Is that what he's talking about? But doesn't that increase as values increase and as volume increases? That increases, right? So I don't think there's a max on it, right? There's no max on that, because there's no max on how much value could flow across the XRPL. But the idea was always that once you get high volume and high values going across the XRPL, which is what it's built for, that burn mechanism would go absolutely bonkers, to for lack of a better word. But I guess to have any extra burning, sure, would be good, which is what I always think about when people talk about the Zahao. There was a point in time, I haven't seen anything recently, where people were they were very excited about Zahao, and to receive Zahao, you used to have to burn XRP to get it. I think I read recently, we covered an article where they were trying to change that, I believe. I don't know if that actually occurred or not. But it says the XRPL AMM comes with a fee auction mechanism, allowing liquidity providers to bid for reduced fees, thus incentivizing participation. Ripple CTO David Schwartz recently called attention to this as an avenue through which market participants could burn LP tokens. All right, so now let's move on to this next article here. What is going on today? It's a lot of articles revisiting things and controversies today. So this article here is titled Ripple CTO Clears Controversy Around XRP and Ripple Naming. This coming up again? Is this about the connection between Ripple and XRP? He's had to clear this up so many times. It's unbelievable. But, I think it's because there's a lot of new people in crypto and they've never heard this verbiage before. They've never heard that separation before. There's a lot of things that we've uncovered the last 3 years, and there's people have been here longer than I have, uncovering, XRP information, stellar information, and mysteries, and breaking it down. But new people they just got here. So I think that's a lot of what's going on. But let's read this little tidbit here. It says, Ripple CTO David Schwartz has recently addressed the persistent confusion surrounding the naming of XRP and Ripple, shedding light on the long-standing debate within the XRP community. No debate with me. I don't care. I just want to make money off of it. See, like this type of stuff here, we were debating back and forth. I'm here to make some money. That's it. So I need to watch the partnerships. I need to watch what's going on with the banks and the big institutions. Watch what's going on with Ripple. I'm just saying what comes to mind, and try to anticipate when that big money is going to be coming in. That's it. And I'm the same way with everything else. Anything else is a distraction. Anything else is a distraction. If it doesn't move me forward, there is no reason for me to engage in it. If I don't gain something from it, there's no reason for me to engage in it. That's how I look at it. So it continues on here. Despite originating from common roots, the two entities are often erroneously conflated as one, a misconception that has endured over the years. It says the discussion was ignited by community enthusiasts and lawyer Bill Morgan. Why? Who highlighted an instance in which XRP was incorrectly labeled as Ripple on the Australian Crypto Convention's website. Well, that's their fault, isn't it? That they did that. No disrespect, but they did that in ignorance. They didn't know and they made a mistake. Mistakes happen. So what? Correct it and move on. That's how I think about it. It says, this sparked a broader conversation within the community with participants delving into the historical context of the naming confusion. All right. No big deal to me. No big deal to me. David Schwartz, a key figure in the development of XRP Ledger and the current chief technology officer at Ripple, clarified that the naming decisions were made at a time when concepts like ICOs and private blockchains were not yet conceived. He emphasized that the intention was never to create confusion and efforts were made to differentiate between XRP and Ripple. It says former Ripple director of engineering, Nick Bougalis, also weighed in, attributing the name controversy to the company's decision to unilaterally adopt the name Ripple from the protocol and network. He criticized the decision, stating that the long-term consequences were foreseeable and detrimental. Where does this get you now? Where does this get you right now? They're not going to change their name from Ripple. So how does this move you forward? What did this do? What did this conversation do? It maybe brought a little clarity to certain people, but how does this move anything forward? None of this is going to change. You get where I'm going? I don't understand. It's like when you're standing around and, and there's conversation that where I come from, they used to call it building. But that's when you're sharing wisdom with each other. So, okay, we're bouncing ideas off of each other because we're trying to build on ideas and concepts here. And we need to learn from each other. We're wise enough to have this mature conversation where we're building. You had two concepts, building and destroying, right? A lot of these conversations are just, in my humble opinion, is just a waste of time. They're destructive because they're taking away your time. You could be building on something. You could be doing something progressive, something constructive. There is something you could be doing that moves your life forward. So yeah, that's how I look at this stuff. I don't see the point in it. It says the origins could be traced back. He just explained to you that they came out with the name and all that before all of that other stuff even existed, because wasn't Ripple one of the earliest companies? I mean, or XRP, well, at least the XRPL. I won't say Ripple, but the XRPL, one of the earliest things invented in crypto, something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, what are you in this for? Are you in this to make money? You in there for those gains? How does this harm that? I don't understand that. Like, I don't know. Let's move on. I have so many questions, but my mind right now is too tired to actually formulate all of the different thoughts that I'm actually having in a very clear way. So now we have a little bit of Chainlink news here. So this article is titled Investor Optimism Surges $680 million worth of Chainlink tokens near profit. All right. What's going on with Chainlink? Chainlink is always bullish to me. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Nothing's changed. I mean, heck, everybody's all the rage about Swift, right? They love Swift. Even though Swift is weak, their systems are weak. And they've been feeding off of the veins of crypto for a long time. Even though they'll proclaim, oh, we're doing so good. We're improving cross-border payments. All the while they're doing this, while they're talking, we're doing everything in our cross-border payments. Psst, psst, psst. Hey, crypto, come over here and help me. We're doing well at Swift. Psst, hey, Chainlink, get over here. Get over here. I need some help over. No, we at Swift are. All the while they're holding hands with the utility coins, right? My word, they're copying Ripple, they're copying Stellar, they're congealing with Chainlink, and Chainlink, they're copying off of Chainlink's homework. So anyway, but because of that, people should be very bullish on Chainlink, I believe. They have only just begun. My goodness, that's one of the most powerful partnerships ever. Chainlink price, after falling for the past 2 weeks, is attempting to initiate a recovery again. Although it has been struggling for the past few days, a lot of stuff has been down. It's not just Chainlink. I love how people isolate things like Chainlink's been down. A lot of things have been down. It's before the halving. Even Bitcoin went up and it went down. Welcome to the beginning of a bull run. Welcome. This is going to happen. Hey, psst, come here. There might be even bigger dips. Get ready. It said, although it's been struggling for the past few days, by the looks of it, this is about to change. Link holders have shown a sudden rise in interest in the asset. If it went down significantly, you do know that there are people out there with the mentality. Every time something goes down, they're like, I'm buying more. And they're serious about it. I've seen this. They're serious about it. There's people out here. This is just a cold game. And it goes both ways, man. They're serious business. I've come across people where every single time they buy that dip and they show proof they bought that dip. And then there's other people that will go against you. They will go to war. You see me, I'm not a talker, but I watch. I'm an observer and I observe this. And some people, they'll buy something up just to sell it and crash that price down too. I've seen that as well. I was watching this one thing. I'll try to be very obtuse with this. And these people were talking trash to this other individual. This other individual was a big money player. But these other people, they were doing good. What they were into, it was making gains. This is not in crypto. This is in another market, right? And he said, if you keep on gloating, because a lot of people don't like people to show off or gloat. So if you keep gloating, I'll sell this thing and I'll bring that thing down. And nobody believed this person, right? And I'm telling you, he said, okay, watch this. And I'm telling you, very quickly, they saw that he sold and they saw that price go down. And I was just watching. I observe everything. I'm a very, very sharp observer. And I was like, oh, you guys may not want, I didn't say this, I'm thinking this. You may not want to test that individual anymore. So anyway, it goes both ways. People buy when it goes down. That was my point. But then that triggered another thought. So I just share one on the spot when something comes. It says link holders, but that's a lesson in that. You're online or you're in person, because there's a lot of these groups. That's how it used to start with us. We used to be in a big group way before I was in crypto, and we talk about, stock market, commodities, all this type of stuff like that. That was big back then, before crypto really took off, before I came into crypto. Be careful. You don't know who is who and who really has what. They may be dressed like they're just a normal person. They're not. They may drive a car and it's not the greatest car. It doesn't matter. They might be big money. Never judge a book by its cover and never gloat on people. Yeah, man. Whew. Anyway, I brought back some memories. Don't worry. I already had sold. I wasn't involved in any of that. I had my target. Boom. It skyrocketed. Boom. I sold. I got out of there, and it went to a price, whatever that was I'm talking about, went to a price that people were saying it could never go to, like usual. And it did. And boom, sell that and get up out of there. Anyway, so Link holders have shown a sudden rise in interest in the asset, which is evident from the increased participation across the network. Active addresses shot up by nearly 104% on the daily time frame, hitting a 2-month high. This shows that investors are expecting an increase in price down the line. This is furthered by the fact that nearly 38.5 million Link tokens are inching closer to the point where they become profitable. What is Link price right now? What is I don't know what the price is right now, but it says this 684 million worth of supply was bought between $17 and $18. How are they not in profit? Back when we got into Link, it was so low. If you're at $18 or $17, there's no way you're not in profit. With these people, they bought at the high. Is that what they did? I don't know. I got to check the price. But 17 and 18, is that where it is right now? Yeah, I don't understand it. So some people bought very, very high because Link was super. See, and this is why it's good to understand the potentiality of something when it's in the dirt. Back when we got into Link, it was so low. It was unbelievable. And once again, that's another crypto project where people said it was dead. And it clearly wasn't. And it took off. So anyway, let's move on here. We have some SEC activity, and I told people this would happen. If crypto didn't stand together, they were going to come after crypto one by one. It doesn't matter if you're centralized. They don't care if you're centralized, you're DeFi. They don't care. They're coming after you. So now this article here, and this is why people should stand together, at least until you get to the victory line. Family now, fight later. Because right now there's a common enemy breathing down our neck, and we need to go to war with them and stop them. But you can't stop them individually. Can't. Stronger together. But a lot of people don't have that mentality. Teamwork. We got to win as a team. That's the thing. I learned that in a lot of these sports I played. Where it's like, yeah, sure, I could be great by myself in this sport. I'm shining. I'm in newspapers, all types of stuff. But if we lose as a team, what does it matter? Doesn't matter. So anyway, this article is titled SEC Moves to Sue Uniswap in Bid to Hobble Fast Growing DeFi Sector. Now they're coming after DeFi hardcore. It says the Securities and Exchange Commission warned Uniswap on Wednesday that it intends to bring an enforcement action against the company, which is the leading platform for DeFi, a segment of the crypto market where traders rely on computer protocols that act as automated market makers for exchanging various tokens. How do they sue? I don't understand that. But then again, I don't understand much about the SEC. It says the warning came in the form of a so-called Wells notice, which the SEC sends to a company prior to launching a formal lawsuit, and which provides a final opportunity to rebut any allegations. In this case, that process is likely to prove a little more than a formality, as the agency has reportedly been investigating Uniswap for some time and is in the midst of a sweeping crackdown on the crypto industry. So now they're going after Ethereum. They're going after Uniswap. I told you, once we're getting to the end of this Ripple case, and I think they're going to lose badly, and they need to save face. So they're going after everybody that they can. Right? And they want to rack up some victories if they can. I hope Uniswap is ready to fight, just like I hope Ethereum is ready to fight. It says, when reached for comment, an agency spokesperson said, quote, the SEC does not comment on the existence or non-existence of a possible investigation, unquote. All right, we'll leave that one off there. I want to see if I can squeeze these last. I have 3 articles. We'll probably only be able to get to 2. Did we do a Bitcoin article yet? We did not. So let's squeeze in a Bitcoin article because I have a lot of people on the channel. I hold Bitcoin. A lot of people on the channel hold some Bitcoin. So let's cover that because I've had a lot of requests. That's why I started covering Bitcoin more heavily, not just because I hold Bitcoin, because for a long time I've gotten requests for Bitcoin information. Same thing I did when I cover sometimes Casper, sometimes I cover Flare. These are all requests. People make a lot of requests, especially in the members only section. So I try to honor those requests. So anyway, let's squeeze this in here. This article is titled U.S. Bitcoin Spot ETFs top $200 billion in trading volume. U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs have topped $200 billion in cumulative trading volume just 3 months after launching, led by major providers like BlackRock. Wow. U.S. spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds have surpassed $200 billion. And once again, there you go. They're repeating it again. Then they not only do they repeat that twice, but then they have the they have the tweet that also says it. Let's read this part. Now, this is like 2 paragraphs down. Let's read this. According to data from the block, the total volume for the SEC approved funds across 200 billion milestone on Tuesday. How many times have we just read that they said it was 200 billion? My word. The ETFs debuted on January the 11th. You could call that a pet peeve. One of my teachers taught us that. She was like, class, we're going to learn today what a pet peeve is. I'm like, pet peeve. Just the phrase sounds weird. Pet peeve. It's like what makes you, it just bothers you. I guess you could say that's one of my pet peeves. It's like when you repeat something a bunch of times. Mick, you repeat something. Yeah, I probably do a lot of my own pet peeves. That's how people work sometimes, you know. It's when it's coming from the other direction, it becomes a problem. Anyway, oh man, the ETFs debuted on January the 11th. We know all this information, so okay, let's move on from there because we have some Hong Kong news I really wanted to get to. This is some real Bitcoin news right here. Delicious stuff. This article is titled Hong Kong Set to Approve Its First Spot Bitcoin ETFs in April, sources say. Well, April is already, you already got like some time down in April already. So there's not long. It says spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds could be launched in Hong Kong this month, with the first approvals likely to be announced next week. And there's big money in Hong Kong, big money, but we'll see how it works. How will that affect Bitcoin's price? It says 2 people familiar with the matter said the timeline would make Hong Kong Asia's first city to offer the popular ETFs and is much faster than the industry expectations of launching sometime this year. Regulators have sped up the approval process, according to one of the people. Remember I told you they were rushing? Look at that. Regulators sped up the approval process because that big money told them, hey, snap, you need to hurry up with this. We're not going to get left behind by the U.S. letting them make all that money. It's before the halving, or the halving is near, however it goes. Let's do this as fast as possible because we want to get in on that. Think about that for a moment. All the retail is selling. The institutions in the West, the professionals say, the institutions are buying like never before, and there's more money coming. That's what they claim. We'll see if that actually happens. And then Hong Kong is also saying, hey, hurry this up. We need to get in now. So if that's the case, where are they expecting Bitcoin's price to go? Isn't it still like 68,000, 69, 70,000 in that range? So they must be expecting it to go up significantly enough for them to see good gains by getting in at this level. That's huge implications, folks. Okay, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.